Um, it's not until now to where you start understanding utilities and how things actually work to make it work for you in your industry. One of my partners is actually on the phone. Her name is Bebo. She's in the chat. Um, but we're creating this group to because when I first looked into the metaverse, I seen that the property was very expensive and it's expensive for a digital piece of property. And it's just like, for real, do I really want to spend this money on a digital piece of property? But once we start putting an idea of us as joining the group and doing it as together as a group, it works. So for me, like you hit it on the nose with you look at these coins, you look at what the coins is doing, you look at what the service that the coins is doing and see if it works. Because just like you, I bought a lot of coins that don't even exist no more, and on some exchanges that doesn't even exist no more. So, and there's a lot of money lost. But you know, with this thing is trial and error. But because I decided, I looked at the whole picture of we're coming into a new web, which is almost like an even playing field for the big companies and the small guys, and you can create whatever industry that you want on this platform.
Correct. Yep. Really good points. Probably when we get to that, you know, like that area, sorry, that slide, metaverse and virtual lands, we could talk a little bit more about there as well, because it's very important. There are so many of them, and how do you pick the one that is actually the best for you? Yeah, and what I wanted to call out here with the strategy bit, that I have friends who are you know, they got into crypto and they, you know, they heard that I'm in it, so they started telling me about their decisions, and they were just buying based on rumors. They watched a YouTube video, someone was shilling a coin, they bought it. They didn't have no idea, and then it dropped in price, so they quickly sold it, and of course then it went up, so they bought into something else. So if you're just randomly by emotion, you pick coins by the name, by the look, it's you might get lucky, but long term it wouldn't really work. So in a bull market, yes, you can throw a dart and pick any coin and everything goes up, but you want to pick solid coins, and it's very important that you have a strategy when you actually want to sell. When do you take profit? So if you want to take profit, let's say if you just invest in Bitcoin and you buy it now for around 40,000 US, and when will you sell it? Will you sell 10% when it goes to 50, or will you wait until it goes up until 100, or will you wait until it goes up until 500,000, or and the other way, if it drops to 30, will you sell it or will you keep it? And so it's really important that you kind of have an initial thought of what you're going to do. Even if you change your mind, it's okay to change your mind. So it might be that you think that you know, this strategy doesn't work, change it, that's okay, but try to stay away from just emotional, like having emotions and buying coins left and right and selling them. And the other important bit, I think, again, just to see what my friend is doing, I would say don't invest more than you can afford to lose. Like if you are don't put your like, yeah, I'm against gambling. Don't take out your money from your mortgage and put it on a coin. It's too high risk, in my opinion. So always, what we say in the crypto world, always do your own research. Very important that you understand what you're buying. I will move on to some of the more exciting stuffs. So trading is, I'm not very familiar with trading. I hope we have some day traders here who can correct me, because it is very popular. But again, what I've seen, a lot of people don't know what they are doing. They draw a couple of lines or they watch a YouTube video and they think they understand it. They buy, sell. But I think it's very important that you understand your technical analysis. Most people don't do, like if you are in share market and doing trading, you obviously have technical analysis and fundamental analysis when you look at, you know, how much assets that company has. Crypto is a little bit more difficult. So I think most of the people that I've seen trading, they do purely technical analysis. And what that means, they're looking at charts like in this one is an old chart on the screen, but they are looking at moving averages for, that is, let's say a moving average for 200 days and a moving average of 21 days. And when they go up or down, that's how they decide whether they buy or sell. There are a couple of lots of other indicators, which I, you know, I tried, but I'm definitely not an expert of, so I wouldn't talk about them. It's a perfectly valid way to earn, but again, very important, just like with the investing, that you take out the emotions. It's like, oh, it dropped a lot, so it must go up. It's if you have the rule set up that if it crosses your moving average of 200 days, and then you will do a buy order, then do it. Don't say that, oh, but not this time, or I will do it differently. Just follow the strategy, and then you can change your strategy, but take out the emotions. Similar with the investing, but obviously on the daily level, you got to have a strategy. What is your stop loss? When do you, if it drops in value, when do you sell it? When do you stop the losses? Or are you, we have a saying in crypto world, if you are in minus 80%, everyone becomes a strategic holder, right? So it happened to me that, you know, I bought something for $1,000, it went down to 200. Now I'm keeping it. I should have sold it when it was 800, but now I will not sell it at 200 because I'm hoping that it will eventually crawl back to 1,000 one day. So I just hold. But yeah, and of course as well, taking profits. Like quite often people like don't take profits, and I think it's if you believe in fiat currency still and you want to get gains, you want to probably take profits. Again, it's up to you. I'm never planning to sell my little Bitcoin that I have, only if it goes until very, very high. And one of the other things, which is obviously you all do because you are here and you are coming to this session, is keep learning, keep improving your strategy, keep learning about new things, try new things. It's the Wild West. Things change very, very fast. So it's very important that you have a learning mindset, a growth mindset. And I will touch on this. Probably you are not as familiar with based on the introduction. You might have heard of it. In the meantime, because I don't see the faces, I can only see now Janet on the screen. Is there any question, or is there anything around trading or investing so far?
I just want to make a suggestion. Anybody who's thinking about doing any day trading, look into a book called Elliott Wave. It shows you theory on how to trade and when to press and pull the trigger.
Thanks for that. I'm afraid of trading. I tried to do it with CFDs back in early days for Forex, and I would need to be in there all the time. It just takes not easy. Thanks for the suggestion. I think you might have. Yeah, if you can put in the name, that would be great. I will move on because I know timing wise, I'm a little bit over time and I have too many things. So there are financial applications as well in crypto. So Bitcoin was purely for peer-to-peer cash, and then Ethereum came in with smart contracts where you could, on top of Ethereum, on the Ethereum network, there were new apps created for just lending and borrowing and so on. So today there is a huge world within this world. Like I will not go into different ecosystems, but Ethereum is probably the biggest network, but there are also layer 2s, there are other networks, and they all have their own applications built on them, on decentralized applications. And one of the best way to make gains in this world is to look at the financial applications in this world. And things that you can do is pretty much what you can do. Sorry, I'm just trying to click on the screen. One of them is staking. And I mentioned before that there is centralized world and decentralized world. So when you start in your crypto journey, you're most likely ending up in the centralized world. You will find an exchange like Binance or find an exchange like Coinbase, and you buy a coin there. And these are companies who provide you with a username and password, but they are the ones managing the funds, just like a bank. So you put your Canadian dollar in, and they will give you tokens, but they are the ones managing the wallets. So if they are getting hacked, and someone steals the money, they are well insured and they will just take that insurance and put that money back on your account. You will not lose it. If you forget your password, you can call them that, hey, I forgot my password. They will verify, you give back your password. This is centralized world. It has advantages similarly to banks, but also there is what we call the decentralized world, where you are responsible for your own funds. So let's say if you have a wallet, like a hardware wallet, which something like this, I'm not sure if you can see the screen or not, probably not, but you are managing your own funds. Or if you have a wallet like on a web browser like MetaMask, you are managing your own money. So the risk there is that you lose your private keys or you give it to someone else, you lost your money. There is no one you can call up. If someone gets your private key, it's their money. So a lot more risk, but also you can do a lot more things, especially in this decentralized finance space. So first of all, staking you can do both in an exchange. So you can just put your money and you can get an interest like a savings account, but you can also do it from your wallet. They are decentralized exchanges. You can also lend and borrow money. So, and when I say money, not US dollar, let's say, but you can lend your US dollar token, USDT, Tether, and you can get some interest on it. So if you stake or lend your, for example, USDT tokens, quite often you can get 8% on them, and they're relatively maybe 6. I don't know the current rates, but definitely more than what you can get in a savings account, and just as close as if you are doing it in a centralized exchange, probably just as secure. If you're doing it in decentralized, they can be hacked, so there might be some more risk, but still the returns are much higher than in a normal bank. The risk is higher. What you can do, and again, this would be a completely separate presentation, you can provide liquidity. So that means, for example, in this image, I have USDC, USDT there. You can provide tokens, both USDC and USDT tokens. And the way trading works in these places is not by an order book. They use a pool of money. So you put in 50% of a pair, like imagine USD, like I use another example, Ethereum and US dollar token, Tether. You put in 50% Ethereum, you put in 50% of USDT, and that pool is used by others for trading, and you get a percentage of the trades. The risk there is that if one of the prices go up, you don't get all the gains from there, because your 50-50%, it will be still 50-50%, but it might be more Ethereum and less US dollar, or the other way around. I will not go into that because, but if you have something like a low risk like this one, what I have on the screen, it's a USDC, USDT pool, and you will have, like, they are pretty much always $1, and you would get $8 on that currently. This is, I think, from 2 days ago. You can also do yield farming, which might provide, they might reel you in that, oh, 300% return, which is true, but they don't give it in US dollar token. They give that in their own platform token. So let's say this particular one would give the token in a BAO token, and you would earn BAO. However, BAO might drop in price, and your 300% might sound great, but in reality, it might be you might be losing money. All right, one of the exciting topics is these IXOs. I just call them IXOs, but there are so many of them. So there is IDOs, which is an initial decentralized exchange offering. There is IEO, which is initial exchange offering. There is INO, which is initial NFT offering. Back in 2017, ICOs, initial coin offerings, were big. So without the definition, this is an example right now. For example, I again just took one random. I took this from Redkite. They are like a platform where you can participate in an IDO. So this is before the token is actually. So Metaron IDO, this I think they have the token Run. Or Mrun. They are not available on an exchange yet. They are probably not. They are definitely not listed on CoinGecko. So this is when you can buy in on a certain low price and you can participate in it.